Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR. Today we have another Zelda 2 Randomizer Sinner Tournament race, Group B, between Ellendar and Artea. With me on comms is Marai. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I expect that most of our audience at this point in time is either still at work on the West Coast or eating dinner on the East Coast or whatever else you're doing in other time zones. But yes, an early evening race here, full excitement here with these two runners. I did a little race with Artea yesterday. It was a fun seed for him and Homer. It was. I'm lying when I say that, but hopefully tonight's seed is going to be a little kinder. Although, depending on the generation that we've seen already, it may be interesting.
Indeed. We've got ourselves two veterans of the game here who have been around a good long while. We've gotten plenty of new faces in the tourney, but we've also got plenty of old timers coming back. It's nice to see two of them race off against each other.
Yeah,
so as noted, this seed took a while to generate. The randomizer sanity checks to make sure the game is beatable and it cycles if it can't make it beatable. So apparently it had a hard time today, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see these maps. And here we go.
Interesting.
Ellendar sitting at 2-0, and Artea, this is his second match as well. He's sitting at 1-0, so hopefully he's going to make it 2-0 tonight, maybe setting Ellendar back just one race. But
Shield and Mito right by start, and I thank you for the reminder to crop.
We have a lot of towns right here. I did miss what was in Raw. I was looking at Artea beat up some stuff in P-Bag Cave here.
I don't think I don't think Ellendar read the sign, because he's just going to get it anyway, since you're right here. This early in the game, even Shield or Life is useful. Basically, why not?
Yeah, even Spell. Who knows? You might need it.
Heart Container for Artea.
A quick up and A out of the P-Bag Cave. No need to waste time and energy there. That is Fairy in Raru for free.
Yep, and Sari is also right next to start. Town Central, apparently, here in what appears to be the southwestern corner of the continent.
Artea also in Raru, about to pick up Fairy as well. He saw the sign. That's going to be level 2 for life on Ellendar's side.
Yep. Both of them just kind of retracing each other's steps. Nothing super new. I wonder what the spell in Saria is.
We got 100 experience orange Dyras, and there's a red Dyra sitting there that Artea did not kill. I'm curious to know how much they're worth. You always like to see those high experience numbers early on to kind of power level yourself. I think he's going to go for the kill here.
Yep. For once, I am actually remembering to boot up a prediction for who will win, so have fun, chat.
Only 70 for the red Dyra is not worth it.
Not at all. Did you catch what spell is in Saria while setting the prediction? Because I forgot.
I was watching Ellendar kill the red Dyra, so I did not either, but we're about to find out. Oh, Reflect.
Alright, nice. So not block both Fairy and Reflect free in the seed.
Did we just see a hint for the glove there? Did I miss that? That was the first guy in Saria. I could have sworn he said something about the glove.
I didn't catch it either. Yeah.
We'll never know because they're never going back in there.
Yeah. Oh, bridge tile right north of Start too. What is this west? And there's
everything. Yeah, everything is right here.
Okay. Thanks, Seed.
Yeah, so Artea just slightly ahead of Ellendar here. He did up and A out of Saria, so he got out of there quicker. P-Bag on grass tile.
There's Trophy Cave, also right by Star. What isn't by Star? Because there's a palace here too, along with that bridge. Make that two palaces. Gabe, as this is P1, we're just north of Start. Nice dark blue. And GP, hi.
All right.
And that's a bridge to the east, north of Start.
And that takes us, to the east. This is wide open so far.
Mm-hmm. Nukasudo has spell right by the bridge.
Only 5 magic containers to get into the women's basement there. I also didn't see Artea go into Trophy Cave, but there's nothing in here other than this pea bag, so I guess that's good for him, but he'll probably check it at some point if he didn't come in here.
Yeah, I don't think he ever actually walked in here. Spell for Artea. Yeah. We're missing. We're barely 4 minutes in. We've seen two. We've seen. Let's see. I just brain farted what Ellendar found in that one cave because you mentioned it, and then I just went in one ear and out the other. Whoops.
It was pea bag and trophy.
Cross and east. Great, thanks. We've already seen 2 of the 4. We've already seen. It's 3 of the 4, 5, 3 of the 6 items in the east. We've seen 2 of the 3 palaces, and we've seen most of the towns. Also, Hydarunia, which is jump, kind of just out in the middle of nowhere particular in this dried canyon east. I have no idea what this west biome is, considering we've barely seen any of it. Because everything's all in one place. I've actually got no idea what that biome is on the west, but this is a dry canyon east. Nice shade of blue on P2.
Ellendar found Risen Pea Bag Cave, but he didn't go in it. I'm interested. Maybe he was just afraid low levels. That's kind of a tough cave. 2-1-2. It looks like he has. So yeah, he'll probably be back in that location later.
Yeah, River Devil absolutely useless in the dried canyon biome. Yawn.
What's nice is Ellendar, Fairy is castable at Magic 2, so he was able to get downstab out of Mito. Something Artea does not have at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just combing over the east here, finding lava encounters here in these forest tiles. It's always fun. Doesn't look like there's much to the west.
No. Looks like this east is running southwest to northeast. Yeah, this west is snooze.
Very
it does
odd.
look like some variety of mountainous biome. I'm not sure which. It all seems to be segmented because there is something left to this. As that is, Ellendar found a magic jar in the east and is trekked back to turn it in for a pair of boots. Very nice.
Yeah, I didn't think Spell was castable at this point in time at Magic 1. I don't know if Artea is headed back there to try to cast Spell. I thought it was 96 magic. I could be wrong. Could be 69. Oh, it is castable. Okay.
Yeah, it looks to be just over 64.
Just a heart in the spell tower. Ellendar attempting to go into this Risen Pea Bag Cave that Artea opted out of. So if he can make it through here at 222, props to him, and he'll be able to see what's in here. Looks like we've got some of those. You can't see them, but they're going to be like the kind of the stationary, slow-moving eyeballs, floating eyeballs that are just kind of in the way. To hitting those guys with your body, it takes a lot of life off. He's going to hit these every time he walks through here, it looks like.
Yeah. Artea refilling his magic and is heading back out of Nukasudo now.
Yeah, that's 4 heart containers to body those floating eyeballs. So if he takes any other hit from anything else he's done, that's a game over for Ellendar. Back to the west. Although the east isn't that far away, so not a big deal.
No, not at all, because everything's by star in this west, apparently. Life in Old Kasudo. So Thunder has a 50-50 chance of being trophy blocked at this point.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that's not free unless the glove is really hidden somewhere.
Yeah, and because we didn't actually catch the hint from.
Again, I think there was a hint. I may be completely mistaken, but they just, when you're running, you're just hitting that text as fast as you can. The moment you see it, boom, it's off the screen. And if we miss it, we miss it, and then that's that.
That's a valley of Valley of Death, and a cave to Death Mountain here, just east of Old Casino.
Everything very close, even on the east, to connect to other parts here. Hammer on the water tile for Artea here. Ellendar will be shortly behind.
Just everything's convenient this seed. You know, this took a while to generate. I'm kind of confused as to why at the rate we're going, because this is being pretty friendly so far.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but it was like kind of what I was talking about. We were doing a little talking before the stream went live, but it's like sometimes I think when the randomizer checks itself, that if it finds that it can't complete the seed in all of its checks, that it starts to kind of make the seed a little bit more open and easy. So it's entirely possible that happened this time, but then again, I don't want to jinx it, given what we've seen in some of the seeds in this tournament, which may be, glove may be buried somewhere, and if that wasn't a hint we saw for it, then I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe Maze Island will be difficult to get to. Anything's possible, but so far it's looking comfortable. It's looking a little bit kinder than we've seen in the past, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. Ellendar is now in P2. Artea has just kind of taking a quick look into the mound to see if there's anything convenient nearby. Helmet Head is really sick. I think he has 5 bars of health.
We're taking a little bit of damage to that hit. Is definitely he's only got 1 hit left from the actual fireball that comes out of Helmet Head. The other little fireballs, they don't do nearly as much damage, but he can't take another hit from Helmet Head at all. He's going to do good here. It looks like attack. Oh, right over that.
There we go.
There it is. With attack 2, he's able to take him down.
Nicely done.
Artea is still struggling with these red divers a little bit. It was getting beat up by them just a little bit earlier as well. Still neglecting to get downstab. First time in Trophy Cave. I didn't think he would hit this place earlier, but he's going to be rewarded with just the P-Bag. But he still has low levels, so the P-Bag might get him something.
Mm-hmm.
I will note that in Trophy Cave there's that Moa, and that's the worst enemy you want to see when you first walk into Trophy Cave. There could be either bats or spiders at the front, which are no big deal, but that Moa, even though it starts high, it's going to slowly move its way down, and I'm pretty sure Ellendar took a death in that Trophy Cave because of that Moa, knocked him into the lava earlier. So just for everyone watching, know that Moa can be very annoying, but Artea killed it when he walked in.
Hey VXR, so far this seed's a snooze. As Ellendar walks into P3 or 6, yet another dark blue palace here. We've gotten 3 in a row. 2 P's of light gray, but palaces 1, 2, and 3 are all fairly similar shades of blue, as you can see. Artea had P1.
Yeah, it's always exciting to walk into P1 again. Shortest palace. Horsehead is a super easy boss, and it's not going to be too difficult to find the item, unless, of course, there's a glove lock, which is possible, but usually not too likely, but possible.
This has been a pretty snooze fest of a seed. Almost everything was right next to the starting palace in the west. We're missing 1 palace and we're missing 1 palace and we're missing 1 town. We've also found almost everything in the east because it's a dried canyon biome. Snooze.
Yes, it's interesting that everything that was given to us on the west, but then it seems like everything else that wasn't given to us is locked away somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, we've got a mini-boss here, and I don't even know which palace this is. I was not looking at for windows.
Yeah, neither was I.
Artea fighting this Iron Knuckle here in P1. Going for, that should be attack 3, I think, here. Yes, so far a much nicer seed than Artea got clunked with last night.
Yeah, for sure. That was an incredibly rough, multi-connector, multi-segmented West. It was ridiculous, and he had words for that one for sure at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Ellendar getting the mini boss down. Still not sure if it's going to be P3 or P6 without seeing those windows. But Rebanak could appear as a mini boss in either one, so it's still anyone's guess.
Mm-hmm.
On Artea's side, this is going to be the annoying room that looks like the vanilla room from right to left that can be a dead end, but sometimes isn't a dead end. But as long as you see it from left to right, you know that it's a pass-through. And Ellendar finding his dead end over there past the mini-boss, totally not worth his time to kill that.
No. And here's Horsehead for Artea. I think you will probably take a look to see if his items in here is accessible. You would like the any key, you would like the glove. You haven't found Maze Island yet, that raft tile might be it.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to get in the level right here, so he's going to go for the attack right across. And how much are these?
We know.
Okay.
Hi, this is Barbut.
Wow, okay.
I believe this P6 is just kind of out in the middle of nowhere in particular.
Artea has to take a death off this Mew because it's not a big deal with this low life level, but he doesn't have enough to cast Fairy to get through that final door after Horsehead.
Yeah. Another reason why he would like the indie key at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah, when you that's the one thing that really just kind of prolongs seeds at times when you have to rely on Fairy for the duration of everything, and if Fairy stays expensive, then that's obviously kind of a pain to constantly have to keep taking death abuses. We've seen that in previous races, and we'll see it again in future races, where sometimes Fairy just stays expensive for so long that certain dungeons, certain palaces just can't really be fully completed because by the time they take enough death abuses to get through the excess doors that may be between the start and the boss, they just don't have enough lives to do it, and they just have to get a higher magic level to bring down the cost of Fairy or find keys or find the magic key.
Yeah. Mercifully, well, Artea, it is a dead end right after Horsehead, but at least it was a P-bag, so Artea can make full use of this gem and take attack 4.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Purple was not bad for Ellendar on attack 2.
Opting not to up an A for Artea. I guess a elevator is close by, if he remembers. I don't recall what was right before this room.
Ellendar is going for Magic 4 here, I believe. Maybe even Attack 4 if you can get enough experience off the enemies in here. Because he's not far from it. Right now he's 78 points off. But is currently, I believe, Magic 4.
It's always interesting to watch the way that the runners progress through their levels, with Ellendar wanting to bring the cost of Fairy down and Artea wanting to bring his attack up so that things are easier to kill. And we'll see throughout the palaces as they play which comes in more handy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see when Ellendar opens up his menu to see if Fairy has come down in cost.
Mm-hmm. Pick up the key while you're here. Artea taking a death warp.
Yeah, he's in the item room.
Death abuse, not death warp. Wrong game as Ellendar finds a glove block. Any key in Palace 1 is a great find.
Big. That is big. So him skip, like I was just saying that, with Ellendar prioritizing magic levels and Artea prioritizing attack levels, it just so happened that now he finds the magic key. He doesn't have to worry about magic levels nearly as much, at least until closer to the end of the game. So those attack levels early on may benefit him more. It's just one more attack than what Ellendar's got right now, so not the end of the world, but I don't know. It could be the small little things that get you out of a fight or get you out of a terrible situation a little bit sooner than if you had less attack levels.
Yeah.
Something like coming down to fighting a Doom Knocker or a Blue Iron Knuckle or something like that, where you're like, God, I wish this thing would die, but attack 3 just isn't enough and it gets you killed, whereas attack 4 would be more than enough to get rid of that guy. I forget if Artea has picked up Downstab at this point. I don't remember if he went into Mito anymore.
I don't think he did. This is a Caldera. Last and high. That's a hilarious hammer rod.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Lovely. There's a rock blocking our way to the rest of the west. Also, hi, yet another blue palace. All of the palaces are blue apparently today. We're going to pay really close attention to which one is to them as they go in, because we'll have no idea where they are. Which ones?
Yeah, this is pretty wild with this really limited color set on all of these palaces.
It's not
so much for randomization.
Yeah, it's not even like different shades of blue. They're like all the same dark, not quite navy, just like slightly lighter shade of blue.
Yeah, and they both are using like this sandy rock texture.
Like, yeah, these two right now, P6 and P4. Palaces 1 and 2 are also pretty... I think P1 might have been a bit darker, but yeah, they're all just blue.
Yeah, there's the item for Ellendar.
Yeah, like if we didn't see them walk into their respective palaces, you could think that they were in the same one.
I don't know if Ellendar's on his last life. He might be trying to
just
farm.
wanted to take the opportunity. He was trying to see if he could find enough experience, but no, he can't.
Oh yeah, he's got plenty of lives. Oh wow.
After he takes the death.
Yeah, that sucks. If you can't get the experience off this last guy here, it's going to suck to give that up so close to 900.
For sure. Oh, the glove's worth it, though. That took Ellendar a while to dig this out of here.
Yeah, we thought he might have been glove locked in that one direction, but obviously not if the glove was in here. So that's good for him. I mean, these are two progression items, kind of. I mean, Artea is going to be able to push through palaces potentially a little bit faster, again, higher attack, but not having to rely on wasting magic, as we just saw, again, Ellendar having to take a death to get through that item door, which Artea will no longer have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, P6 just kind of out in the middle of nowhere in particular, kind of as with everything else. I mean, it's a Dried Canyon biome, everything's available.
Yeah, the only thing that's really going to block you from that is if you're on the west and there's like some hammer-blocked caves, but nothing really on the east. I think that's maybe something we can look forward to in maybe the future randomizer. Maybe we'll see some hammer blocks in the east as well, because that's not a thing currently.
That'll be pretty neat. Yeah, River Devil's useless today. He's almost guaranteed useless in a Dried Canyon biome.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a Dried Canyon biome. The water's gone. You can just walk anywhere and everywhere. Yawn.
Artea getting a little looped around here in P4. P4 tends to be a little bit of a troll when it comes to Palace for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. It always feels like Palace 4, regardless that it's not the biggest palace that you'll run into. But it just feels like it's constructed in such a way to where there are loops and duplicate rooms and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely room there for Artea, who does not yet have the glove, and probably doesn't want to use Fairy in it yet, because that's not a particularly fun room to deal with.
Ellendar also just getting the boots. For some reason, I thought he had the boots earlier, but he didn't, and he's going to check the water tile, and that's going to be the hammer for him, so he'll be able to make it through that caldera when he sees it, which he hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Artea about to face off against the Doom Knocker with no health, and there it is. He still doesn't have downstab, or else he probably would have used it there to just surf across that guy, but he doesn't have it. It's interesting. Nito is right there. He's got Fairy. It's castable at Magic 2. He needs to, whenever he goes back, he needs to up an A, and he needs to pick up that downstab.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't have. There's nothing to prove to anybody here. You need that downstab. You're going to need that soon. Oh, he's on a sliver of life. That Moa almost got him. He's got no magic. I don't know if it's worth taking the chance on. There's a statue in the room above that can produce a red jar, but can also produce a red iron knuckle. So I don't know. That's a gamble for sure with one hit left.
Upstairs for Ellendar, I actually completely... Right, Jump was in the Rudy. I don't remember if he saw the hint for the child is the thing.
Yeah, I don't think Artea even went into Daruni after just seeing the sign. He may have not even had another cast Fairy. He's also not a fan of upstab, and it is something that actually came back to bite him in yesterday's race. He did have plenty of time to go back and get it, though, just the way that the race was unfolding. So no big deal for him for that last race, but I don't know. You know, we might see another upstab block again in this one, and if he opts to skip it, might come back once again to haunt it. Although that would be interesting, 2 races in a row for sure. That would be maybe from then on forward he'd start picking up upstab. Ellendar, looking at some pass-through caves there. We're seeing a 3-eyed rock, although I believe we've seen all the palace locations at this point. I don't think Three-Eyed Rock is going to
Correct,
hold a palace. Yeah.
because we've seen both Palaces 2 and 6 just kind of in the middle of things.
Yeah, then
And
of
we
course,
know the last one's in the valley.
yeah, guaranteed to be in the Death Valley volcano. Right.
And it can't be a town either, because here's the last one. Nibiru has Dash. Whoa, we need the trophy for Thunder.
Wow, that's interesting. So they, yeah, they're gonna. We don't have a hint on. We haven't found that yet, right? I mean, we haven't seen Rudo. Yeah.
No, Rudo has to be in the eastern half of the west, along with a couple item caves. I think we're missing 3 item caves, and Rudo on the west at this point.
Yeah, we're missing at least Medicine Cave and Heart Container Cave, I believe. We've seen Trophy. Did we see Magic Container? I don't remember. We did see Trophy. We did see the Pillar Cave, which is P-Bag Cave. And I don't remember if we saw Magic Container Cave. Okay, Royale with Cheese. Tracker checking in, correcting, keeping the commentary in line there. Thank you very much. So yeah, three item caves and Thunder in Rudo. But we still don't have the hints, so they don't have access to the hints. So depending on how long it takes to get there, we don't know if they're going to decide to start digging out just random items in these places. Then again, with 3 item caves still available on the west, Trophy could just be sitting in one of those for free, and we still don't. We just don't know.
Indeed. They do both have the hammer. Artea knows that you need a hammer to go further east in the west, which is kind of funny. I don't think I've seen a hammer block connected like that before, in a caldera or a crater. Pretty funny. Also, I'm pretty sure this is P1. Yeah, it is for Ellendar. Because I did actually catch the pillars when he came in, and as mentioned, everything's blue.
Yeah, and if he digs out the item, that's going to be that's the magic key for him, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. So that'll be a good find.
Artea still screwing around a P4 here, unable to find the boss or the item, I believe. So he's still just fighting his way through here. A very quick horse head at attack 4, as expected. Here's going to be the item for Artea. If he can survive, he's got enough magic to get through the door. I don't know how many lives he's got, but there's 2 blue iron knuckles here. It's probably worth just casting fairy to get through there.
If he didn't need a fairy through the door, that's a fluke of dubious usefulness, I think, at this point, unless the desert tile's underneath it. But even then, it would have a trophy.
We did see the desert tile. I believe it had a magic container on it. I think.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
Well, I think what we haven't seen is Sunken P-Bag Cave.
Right, but that can't be under 3-eyed rock.
Oh,
I don't think.
Oh, it can.
Oh no, I might just be brain fighting. Yes, because I was trying to remember if there's any important landmarks we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we saw it the other day happen. I don't know what race it was, but it just opens up a black hole in the ground. It just looks really odd. But
yeah, I couldn't remember because it doesn't show up very often in the caves behind 3-eyed
No,
rock.
not at all. Not at all. Because
Or caves behind the Nuka pseudo tile, because that can happen as well.
Yeah, I don't think it can be a pass-through unless we have like shuffled weird connections. I don't think it can be a pass-through because that doesn't really make sense in a directional, the directional rules that they need to follow generally.
Yep, and Ellendar has found P4, which is a little bit more purplish on his side. Their graphics have generally been fairly similar, but you can see that they are now in the same bluish palace. It is just a bit more purple on Ellendar's side, which doesn't help distinguish anything. It just makes it confusing that they are in fact both in P4, even though it's kind of purple for Ellendar.
Yeah, it took Artea an extended amount of time to find that flute, which again may not prove useful at all, but he still has not found Karok, so it'll be interesting if Ellendar can make up some time here. Oh, Ellendar did not actually dig out the item in P1. There's no magic key for Ellendar, so he's still doing the fairy thing here. And this, speaking of fairy, Artea is going to be ferrying through this room to get through because he doesn't have the glove.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see if that comes back to catch him as well. All these small little changes, these small little minute details that may catch one runner versus the other. The up stab on Artea, the down stab on Artea right now, of course, is affecting them a little bit, trying to push through some of these enemies. And of course, the missing magic key over on Ellendar's side.
Ellendar is missing key but has glove. Artea has key but no glove.
It's funny, Ellendar just saw that room that Artea pushed through with the fairy, which leads directly to Karak. So he's going to push in a different direction right now, it looks like.
He doesn't want to take that death yet for that fairy spell. I think it was the same for Artea.
Oh!
Oh, that's a game over. Ouch.
Wow, well, that's not too deep into the palace, though, because Ellendar saw that very early on. He saw that room and then noped out of it. So Artea should have no problem getting back there.
Yeah.
But this is costing him a lot of time. He's been in P4 for a long time now.
Yeah, because Ellendar managed to beat a couple other palaces while Artea is just digging this out.
Oh, Ellendar's in that room now. Oh, he's not going to fairy. He's going to try with the glove.
Mm-hmm. It is doable. It's just kind of finicky.
Yeah, you want to keep 3 blocks on the bottom here, so you got to jump in such a way to where you don't break those bottom 3 blocks on the left.
That should work.
Yeah, it's a little annoying having to keep jump and attack if you miss one of the blocks.
Yeah, since the flute is of dubious usefulness, Ellendar taking this path much earlier is probably going to save him time.
I really thought that was a lot closer than Artea's making it look, so Ellendar is going to hit up Karak, and he doesn't have enough to cast Reflect, so he's going to have to take a death. I don't know what he left in this room. Oh, never mind, there's another room remaining here, so he can take a death in this room before he sees Karak.
Yeah.
Unless he kills everything.
He just dies on Karak. Oh, Blue Jar, never mind, that works.
That's true.
Not quite enough, but yeah, he could just die on Karak, it's fine. I'm not sure where Artea's going, because this is not the path to... I don't... Yeah, well, maybe a little bit further. This P4 was a bit of a maze. There's the death of Ellendar. Still has 2 lives left, which is great, because he can, in fact, if things go really south, take another one.
Yeah, I think it's a drop to the bottom bridge here, and then a left.
Something like that, yeah.
Ellendar out in front, though, because Ellendar's taken 6 and 2. He's already down with all those, and this is really costing Artea some time here.
Yeah, because Artea spent ages looking for the item in here, and just because he didn't want to use his very limited resources on that fairy to get up here, and unfortunately, that flute's of questionable usefulness at best, especially because he's also missing that glove right now.
So Ellendar clearing out P4 here, although he didn't find the item, so we'll see if he digs in here at all.
I doubt it. He was able to get a life 6 off of Karak, so he could take attack 5, and now he's heading further east. The other side of this connector is boost locked, because there's a lake right at the exit.
Nice.
Thanks, game! Apparently you needed both hammer and boots to go over here. That's kind of hilarious.
Is Artea going to have enough to cast both Reflect and Fairy at this low magic level here? I don't know.
He
is not. Oh, wow, Maze Island. Yeah, wow.
Okay, that's everything. Ellendar just needs to find out where the trophy is at this point, and he's done.
It's funny, I said, he took another game over on Karak. That's unbelievable.
No. Artea!
I was just going to correct myself. Yeah, Clem pointing out that Artea doesn't need Fairy. I've completely forgotten he has the magic key. So yeah, so that didn't matter. He just needed enough to cast Reflect, but he died on Karak. This is a huge setback.
Yeah, Roto now for Ellendar is way on the coast. Some mountains kind of just getting in his way.
It's going to be interesting if the hint is go east to find the trophy.
Yeah,
I doubt it, though.
I doubt it as well.
Oh!
And you jinxed it.
Dude! That's awesome! That flute is going to help Artea, and he doesn't even know it. Oh my God. He's just got to get through P4. He's got to get out of this. Has got to be his last attempt. He's got to get the hell out of this palace. This has been his bane.
Yeah, also the raft tile, as it turns out, also goes to the Maze Island.
Yeah, Clem, they did Risen P-Bag Cave. That was, I forget what was in there. Nothing too crazy. It was either hard or something like that. They haven't seen Sunken P-Bag Cave yet. And so, presumably, that's behind Three-Eyed Rock.
I assume so. I'm not quite... I know Ellendar stumbled across one of the items of Maze Island. I entirely missed what it was.
So did I.
I just registered him falling down. Oh, heart container, thank you, Royale. But yeah, that could matter, because, oh, Artea saw it? Ah, they both skipped Sunken Cave. Okay, so it is available.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's usually the easier cave.
Sidetracked, we are in P6, which we are in P3, which isn't blue. Woohoo!
1 out of 6 ain't bad.
It's a rather cheery green, which is not too bad. Well, it's easy to spot its P3, I suppose, for not only just because it's in Maze Island, but also because it's bright green.
So Ellendar, Artea had the option to pick up a magic level there right before he died. He opted not to do that. He must really he's going to hopefully get attack 5, I assume is what he's looking for here then.
Yeah, he's really going for a glass cannon build, prioritizing attack over everything else, which is resulting in, his death to get Karok, pretty much, is what it is. Especially because he already has to take 1 death to even cast Fairy to get to Karok, and then...
Yeah.
Karok's being rude, which isn't helping.
Yeah, so he spent so much time in P4 that Ellendar was even able to complete P6 before Artea was finally able to... Or P3 before he was able to complete P4, yeah.
Yeah, so Ellendar is just on a roll. P5 is in the Valley of Death. He's gonna go track down wherever the trophy is and get Thunder. Well, track down the trophy, beat P5, and then upay back to the west to beat the game.
I am supremely disappointed that the Sunken P-Bag Cave was found and we didn't see it on both sides. But it looks like Ellendar is going to check the spell tower here, and he's going to be rewarded with not the trophy.
Yeah, her container, which she's already on 6, is just a bit of a... meh.
All right, so Artea out of 4 through this second pass through in the caldera, going to open up the rest of the west for him. So he'll get the hint as well for the trophy, and he'll be able to clear out any of these item caves if he wants to. He'll also find Maze Island in a moment.
Yes, he will. And this eastern section of the west, really quite boring. A lot of mountains, but not a lot of interesting actual anything. It's annoying to navigate because of all the mountains, and getting here was fun because it was both hammer and boot locked, but this actual section's pretty boring. Yawn.
I think the first cave was jump, so it was also jump/fairy block, the first cave.
Oh yeah, that too.
It's like a triple block to get over here.
Yeah, just... The one troll in this scene was getting over to that section of the west, apparently. It wasn't even that bad. Pretty good scene, all things considered.
So, Ellendar's headed back to... Oh, he's just digging caves now, yeah.
Bag was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ellendar cleared this out, or maybe he didn't?
Good Z2R seed wood is that low. Artea still just kind of walking around. I'm not sure he's actually seen Roto yet.
He did, and I believe he got the hint as well. I looked away.
Oh, there's the trophy!
It's in Risen P-Bag Cave. I could have swore that they went in here.
Apparently
and
not.
It. Yeah, I guess not. Man, what a free seed. I'm actually a little disappointed.
Yawn. Actually, like, this has been a snooze. It's so much of a snooze, I'm putting the ZSR sleepy on in chat.
Yeah, after some of the rigorous and adventurous seeds we've seen lately, this one is really, really calm and timid.
Yeah, I mean, GP is still GP. We'll see about P5 as well, but this is a fairly boring one.
Yeah, I'm definitely not holding my breath, and Artea still does not have downstab.
No.
I guess he hasn't headed back to that side yet. He is.
Why is he going back to the crater, by the way? Oh, I know he's not. That's a pass-through cave too, and that ended. Lovely. I'm not even sure what Artea was taking that pass-through cave for. I don't think he's missing anything on the west.
Yeah, he also didn't dig any of those item caves, so he feels that he doesn't need anything they've got in there. I mean, he knows that the trophy is over here on the east somewhere.
Yeah. Apparently our checker else in chat that Ellendar game over in the cave earlier, and I don't know if Artea just forgot it or something.
Yeah, well, I remember Artea peeked his head in and said no, he noped out of it, and I do remember Ellendar dying early on, but I thought they had come back in here, and I guess
apparently not.
Yeah.
Ellendar is going through the pass-through in the Valley of Death now. On basically no life, but does manage to get through in one piece and runs into an encounter. Immediately afterwards, so that's a death. Hopefully can get through in one piece, is going to go for the fairy feet here, and gets through nice. And P5 is also
just greens and blues. Well, we had kind of a purplish shade, it looked like, but I mean, and you know, there's some blue and purple.
Blue on Artea's side. Yeah, we've got, and then GP is I think a lightish shade of gray. Yeah. I like to write down the colors of palaces on my notes sheet, just so I can, you know, have a quicker reference as to what palace they're in without needing to keep a really close eye on pillars, because you don't always catch that going in. Fairly useless today, considering everything was blue. And the only two green palaces were pretty distinct, considering they were in Maze Island in the Valley. All of the easily accessible palaces were very, very similar shades of blue. Bridge tile on 3-eyed rock, nice.
Yeah.
Bridge to nowhere.
I think last night's seed really exhausted Artea. He's like, man, so much Z2R. He might be running on an E here. He's not doing too good here. And at this point, Ellendar is going to be like 65-minute clearing the seed.
Yeah, this, depending on that, he's going to be in GP well sub-hour. Even if P5's a real troll, it's not going to take him 20 minutes, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, probably not.
Nice raft. I don't think Ellendar ever actually saw the raft tile anyway, like the other side of it in Death Mountain, so, yeah, that's a useless as all heck raft. Thanks, game.
Yeah, I'm a little in awe in how simple and open this seed was, at least as from Ellendar showing it to us here. Yeah, just Artea having bad luck in P4. He must have spent 15 solid minutes.
Yeah, and Gooma's just free in here, wow. Just had to go down a couple elevators, just had to go down this one elevator, and wham! Gooma. Pretty frail Gooma at that. Ellendar knocked off half his health very, very quickly.
Yeah, he started wounded.
Yeah, Attack 5 is making a great dent in this.
Yeah, it is, interestingly enough.
Yeah, and that's down. That's a remarkably nice Gooma on Attack 5. Sometimes he can be a real troll even at that attack level. Unfortunately, Ellendar needs to take a death because he never did get that any key.
See, the only way that this is, I think, going to be redeemed for Artea in any way, shape, or form is if that particular room in GP shows up with a double glove block with the key in the middle, because we're not seeing keys anywhere in palaces or in the drop pool.
No, well, I've seen a couple just in rooms that have keys, but
oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, do you want to go look for one of those things? Not really.
Yeah, there was a runner who had talked about this before, about how you always keep that room in the back of your mind where if you need a key, always remember where you saw a key, so that at that point, if Ellendar did run into that room, he wouldn't just have to like walk out and then begin randomly looking for a key. You would just have that in the back of your mind that, hey, I saw a key in P1, or hey, I saw a key in P2, or something like that. And just remember that as little as you may need it, it's nice to be able to pinpoint something quickly as opposed to just randomly digging.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ellendar does have to go hike all the way back to Rudo because it's clear on the other end of the continent.
Artea finding that mini boss that leads to nothing but a dead end drop room. So,
yeah, but yeah, that was sub 40. That was like a 43-minute all 6 gems played for Ellendar, which is kind of hilarious, honestly.
Yeah, very, very jet. He's been executing well, though, even without that magic key. I mean, he, has shown that prioritizing those magic levels and bringing the cost of fairy down, which I said I was going to look for earlier, but I haven't been looking for it. And I see it's 33 right now, so it's completely manageable at this point. But, you wouldn't mind having an extra magic container, I think, at this point. He has just 5, and Thunder is going to be expensive. So if there are some forced fairy blocks on the way to Thunderbird, that is automatically going to cost him a life when he gets there. So we'll see if GP is difficult, if there are any fairy blocks along the way, if he runs into that double glove blocked room with the key in the middle, with the door in the middle. I mean, anything's possible, but it could also just be completely free based on everything else we've seen in the seed.
Yeah, so Eldar's going to get Rudo here and be in GP at about 47 minutes.
Yeah, it's just going to be a quick up and A and then walk out of starting palace, and the final stage is right there next to where you begin.
Yep. Artea, in the meantime, is in... I'm not even sure which blue palace this is.
It's P6.
Okay, thank you, because I was like, I missed Barba, him beating Barba, so yeah, P6. Because yeah, it's like, this is blue. Unfortunately, that's no help. Alright, he's probably going to go P2 here afterwards, because P2 is right next to this.
So 61 is what Thunder costs at Magic. 6, I believe, is what he's at.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much his entire bar. Yeah,
Artea still... yeah, they did not find many magic jars, unfortunately. 46.15, I think that was for Ellendar. Very fast GP.
Also, breaking the color scheme.
Yeah, it's almost white, it's so pale. A little bit too bright, as we are welcomed into the palace by a chicken and waffle room, unfortunately. Ew.
Yeah, Ellendar found that extra heart container, so that's going to give him a little bit more life here in GP, but if he has to spend anything to get through these rooms, it's just going to, again, cost him a life when he gets to Thunderbird. So he's always going to have to hit Thunderbird with an extra life. And as much emphasis as I put on this, we can expect Thunderbird to be in the next room. So it's probably not going to be a big deal at all.
Yeah, probably. And by the way, Clem, this is actually, Artea needs to stick around the P6 because the glove's in here. And as Ellendar has found out, you need the glove. Hi, waffle room. Immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hi, you need the glove in GP.
Yeah, plus they didn't pick up Jump. Jump is in Darunia, right?
Yes it is, and we have no idea where the child is.
We're just gonna leave the poor child lost somewhere on the Hyrule continent, probably in deep trouble, but no problem.
Yeah, there we go. Gets the first Chicken Knight, now gets the red Chicken Knight, now needs to do the blue one.
What I was getting at was... Oh, go ahead.
And this is a really ugly room to start the palace with, because you have to deal with these guys every single time.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at with the jump thing, without having... There's even another one here.
Oh, ew! Even more chickens! This is a brutal room to start GP off with.
Unfortunately, Artea is not going to have jump either when he comes in here, so they're both going to have to just push through this terrible room. And that's going to be
this
the
is going to lengthen the seed a fair bit just because Ellendar is stuck dealing with these chickens. Because they respawn every time you up A, so, you know, fun.
Well, he's got about 17 minutes to make my estimation here, my prediction, so let's go Ellendar.
Okay, going for the safe strat on this blue chicken knight, which is the best idea.
Yeah, sure.
Because they go down really quickly at attack 6, you just need to be able to hit them without getting hit, is the problem. Yeah, they only take a couple hits once you can hit them. The issue is you want to hit them and not have them hit you. Yep, another chicken, this time the regular variety, a spicy one at that, instead of the chicken knights.
Not 100% sure what Artea is still digging for on the east. He's got the trophy.
I have no idea what he's looking for at this point.
I mean, other than these palaces that he needs to get into and hurry up and push through these ASAP.
Yeah, oh, it's true. And hi, T-Bird.
All right, so not that deep, not that big of a deal. Definitely not going to take into consideration having to, push through a difficult GP while keeping one life in reserve. Not what is it, like 4 rooms in?
Yeah. Once you get past the chicken and waffle room, you go right, you go up, and you're there, pretty much.
All the audience can help for at this point is that GP is an absolute nightmare past this point, so fingers crossed, I guess?
Yeah, Ellendar is on his final life because he took a death, I think. Actually, no, I think he has... yeah, I think he might have 1 life left, so we'll see how deep Darklink is. I think there's only 1 fork before T-Bird, because T-Bird was so early, so there could be a lot of paths after T-Bird, so we'll see how long that takes.
Oof.
Ooh, that's a death for Ellendar. That is now his last life, so he'll probably beat T-Bird and then up A to deal with the chickens again, and then go from there.
I am not... Artea just beat Helmet Head, but I don't know what he thinks he needs out of P2. He needs to just go, go, go. He needs to up an 8 and go find Maze Island, which I don't remember if he saw that on the west, if he checked that cave. He had to have, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, check the next room after T-Bird before you up A, but if it's not within a couple rooms, you might want to up A just to get your lives back. I'm not sure either, because if Artea doesn't know that... because Artea did see Death Mountain and the raft tile in it, so he might think his raft's the way there. Unfortunately, his raft is in P5 in the Valley of Death. He'd be better off going there anyway, just to do that while he's thinking anyway. I'm not sure why he's still in P2. Or at least I think this is P2.
Yeah, that's P2.
And trap room for Ellendar. And leads to the top of the L7 here. The reverse L7 at that.
I'm just trying to think what Artea thinks he needs, and maybe it's heart. I mean, I don't think he thinks heart containers are magic containers. If he would, he would be digging items in the west.
No. Apparently, he didn't. The chat says he didn't see. They don't think he saw Maze Island, so he's thinking about the raft. Unfortunately, his raft is not here. I would at least go dig P5, which you haven't finished yet, and look for the raft while you're beating a palace instead of, you're in here.
Yeah, this is
Ellendar dealing with this fantastic room. Having a little trouble with the jumps. He is on his last life, so he cannot. He has to get this, or yeah, there we go, nicely done. Because he can't go past. He is down about half his life, his health now, though. Which is going to limit where he goes. Like he took one look at that red chicken knight and it's like, yeah, I don't have the health to deal with this. I'm out of here. We'll see how that shapes his routing as we see another one of these rooms.
It would be funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it would be funny if, because of yesterday's race with Artea, he found the connector, whereas Homer didn't, and it was kind of a buried connector. The connector from Maze Island, if he didn't find it, it would be kind of a reverse role from yesterday's race, so that would be kind of amusing.
Yeah, Ellendar is still in GP, still in his last life, and he's going deeper and deeper by the minute. And he is on very low health. That blue chicken that just took off another... Yeah, I think he's hoping for a... He's really dicey right now, because even if he finds Darklink right now, which he hasn't, he's dying in one hit to most things at this point. Yeah, I think that's a game over.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have kept pushing with such low life, knowing I had no lives in reserve.
Yeah,
or just upgrade, because you weren't that, like you said, Thunderbird's not that far in. Just restart it and refresh yourself.
Yeah, he saw, like, seeing some of the earlier rooms is fine in case Darklink's right there, but it's not, and now you're just stuck waiting.
I will give props to Artea, though. He did just push through one of the lava encounters in Death Valley there in the dark with no jump and no fairy, and he just made it through. Luckily, taking damage on the way, didn't fall into the lava, so cool.
Yeah, oh, sorry about the... us being ahead, apparently. I'm not sure why, but we've gotten a fair bit of buffering, at least on at least on the comms page, and the delay crept up on us. I just hit the refresh button. It should be better now. We also want to refresh our comms pages, Mirai.
Roger that.
Since Artea is going through the Valley of Death and Ellendar is retracing his steps in GP. Yeah, VXR, I'm not sure why. We've had a lot of syncing on our restreams lately. I'm not sure why we're having so much syncing. It's across our channels too, but it just keeps happening. Back to the reversal 7, heads off to the right, because you can do that, just stay on the ceiling, and off he goes.
Interestingly enough, there is a bug in that room, I guess you could say. If when the drop lands you on the ceiling like that, which it's not supposed to, if you actually take a death in that room on the top, you will respawn on the bottom. So he's already beaten Thunderbird. If you use that trick to beat Thunderbird, to get past Thunderbird, that's going to be against the rules. But I don't know if it's against the rules if you've already beaten Thunderbird. If that's a quick shortcut, I'm not sure. I might actually be experimenting with that, I don't know if he knows that trick, but I might actually be experimenting with that. I don't think Guma was too far in to P5 here for Artea, so he should...
I think you just need to go down an elevator, I think in like the next room or two or something along those lines. It's pretty soon.
A lot of these elevator rooms for Ellendar here. This is going to be another one.
Yep.
Taking his time, going through this a little slowly, and I guess rightfully so.
Yeah, makes sense. Creeping up on the hour mark here now.
Yeah, he's got 8 minutes to finish GP, or else I lose a lot of money. Just saying.
Honestly, so tips on how to identify if you are in a loop is that, well, how many copies of rooms you see depends on whether or not you have community rooms turned on, because if community rooms are on, you have more rooms to choose from. If not, you're stuck with the same things. One big thing is to keep an eye on this enemy patterns, because if the enemy placements are the same, if the enemy pattern is different, then you know that it might not be the same room. So like here, this room can repeat for Ellendar, but this one's got a big bot, it's got a couple flying heads, so like versus like another room might have a chicken knight in it or something. the biggest thing with loops is to spot them quickly and know how to get out of them.
Yeah, I will say that it's something that definitely comes with experience. It is without a doubt frustrating, and it even is something that still catches top runners off guard from time to time, depending on how egregious the loops end up being. So it's not something you can fully escape, and I hate to say, I mean, some things it does just come down to you do have to play it a little bit, and without a doubt it's frustrating, but once you begin to identify rooms just on first glance, and especially as Star points out, enemy pattern, when you kill all the enemies in a room, they're not going to, unless it's like the small enemies, but if you kill big Iron Knuckles and Doom Knockers, they're not going to be respawning unless you do an up and A or have a game over in the palace itself. So if you see those same rooms and they're empty the next time through, then that's going to be an indicator that you've already been there.
Yeah. Ellendar went back up to see about Red Jar, then realized, wait a second, that's Darklink. I'm coming right back. As we just saw, that room right before Darklink was a giant open room. I started the sentence about enemy patterns in another one of those giant open rooms, except for the first giant open room had way nicer enemies in it.
Yeah.
Because that second one had a real mess. Chicken Knights, flying heads, fireballs, and a whole lot. It's a good thing Ellendar had a life left, because that was ugly. You definitely want to ferry over a room like that, because you're otherwise good luck fighting for it. Have fun. Just barely edging out the sub-hour here, Darklink being fairly cooperative.
That was an incredibly fast seed.
Very much so. Ellendar was done with his palaces at 43 minutes, took another about 2 minutes to get back to Rudo and then to GP, and now he's done.
and to think that would have been even faster if they had picked up Trophy the first time Risen P-Bag Cave that they saw it.
Yeah, it would have saved them about a 2-minute hike over there back to Rudo. Yeah. And the 2-minute hike back to the cave for that man, and the couple minutes it took to get back to the cave. Yeah, this could have been close to 50 minutes. I think a runner like Trails or RCS might have finished this about the 50-minute mark, because I could see shaving off a couple minutes here and there with combat, with not dealing with the trophy shenanigans. Ellendar lost a good couple minutes to it, 3 or 4 minutes maybe, right there and then. Artea, they both had some issues in P4, but that's kind of to be expected with the equipment they both had at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get Ellendar for an interview, as Artea is in P3, we'll probably just watch him out, finish it out, and I tow Ellendar in. GG.
Hey, GG. I got the sub one. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, this was a ridiculously nice seed. Even that GP couldn't hold you up for too long.
Yeah, the only really unfortunate thing was me taking that game over, losing 3 lives in that cave, then ended up holding the trophy. If I would have gotten that trophy there, that would have saved at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was just discussing that right before you came in, is how this could be about a 50-minute seed for with a couple smite things.
Couple cleanups on combat, not dying in the cave that had trophy, and not taking game over in GP would have done it.
Yeah, this could be about 50 minutes easily. This was a ridiculously friendly seed. You were done with all 6 palaces at sub 43, I think, something like that. It was dumb.
The only thing that slowed me down at all was not having thunder. That sucked. But not having thunder, and also the town with the hint for thunder being effectively blocked for a decent portion of the seed. So you had to just and then as soon as I got the hint that it was in East, I'm like, I hope it wasn't in that cave, and then it was.
Small comfort as Artea also did get the trophy first trip.
Yeah, that's I need to learn some kind of strat to manipulate that. If the floating eyeball spawns there, to lure him away. I was just trying to tank it and then make it through the bats and the ceilings fighters, but that wasn't a good strat.
Yeah, Artea reminding me that has now beaten all of his palaces, now heading for Thunder himself. Yeah, Artea, among a lot of among other things, he was in P4 before you and left P4 after you. He dug the flute out of it.
Oh, that could have been a thing. I only
We were
found
concerned it was a P-bag cave underneath it, which it wasn't. It was a bridge to nowhere.
Oh, yeah, I only found one of the P-bag caves in the east. So, if the trophy wasn't in the one that I knew about, I was gonna just start digging the whole thing. I wonder where it was, if it wasn't beneath spectacle, but
Might have been.
beneath the flute.
I'm not sure either, because you guys. I mean, it's a dried canyon biome. Those are usually pretty easy to get around. Oh, Artea's 103.58. A whopping 17. You come in here at an hour 3-minute mark, and your opponent's already done. Feels kind of bad. Because you were in here 17 and a half minutes ago.
Yeah, man. It's just there were very few. All the towns were basically right next to each other at the start,
And
then
he's getting
GP
welcomed
was
by
right
the
there.
and he takes an immediate death. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. This first room is fantastic, right?
That room sucks. Once I figured out the Thunder strat, I didn't feel so bad about it. Like,
yeah, it just meant you had to use one. Basically, you had to use up all your magic bar right then and there, every time. Which
what I was
help.
trying to do was kill the red bird knight while like occasionally ducking to block the blue bird knight's shots, and then I was gonna like perch on the ledge and just do the slow strat where you just stab him when he jumps up. But every time I tried to do that, between the red bird knight shooting low and the blue bird knight like jumping or shooting high or whatever, it was just never working. I didn't want to take a death or a game over. Like if you take a death in the first room, you might as well reset, right? You want to do at least the first room clean.
Yeah, and okay, Artea does finally decide to go get down, so I'm looking at that's a real mess. Maybe I do want this.
Oof.
I don't think he picked up upstab either, because I know that the one upstab block was required in this GP as well, among the whole everything else.
Yeah,
this was not a pretty GP. You spent 13 minutes in it after a very friendly rest of the seed.
I don't think there's a way to clip into that upstab room.
I don't think so either.
But it's also it's possible. Because that was before Thunderbird, right? I think.
Yeah, it was before T-Bird.
So it's possible that the left in that room leads to the right in the room with the elevator right before T-Bird, and you can just walk around it.
Maybe, but
I never checked any of those two paths.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't need to, but yeah, I don't know because
it probably has to.
Using the Thunder strat. Unfortunately, the Thunder strat is probably the best way. He's getting through all right, but yeah, it's on the slower ways. You just have to figure out how to deal with these chicken knights because this is a really rude room. There were a lot of chickens. We were just discussing actually when you found that room before Darklink. It was the second one of those really big open rooms. We actually were just discussing how to differentiate copies of rooms that is not a loop by enemy patterns. The first one was nice. The second one was ridiculous with all those chickens in it. You took a death and proceeded to ferry through the whole thing. Yeah.
When I went through that the first time, I'm like, well, maybe I can make it. And if it weren't for the lag, maybe I did kind of get past everything. But then it was like, no. And once I died to it the first time, it's like, all right, forget this room. I've got magic for ferrying. We're doing this.
This is not happening.
I am a very large fan of, especially since I didn't have shield, fairly aggressively using ferry to just not do difficult combat rooms because it's not life was basically the same cost as ferry, and it's very easy to take way more damage than a life spell would heal in a combat room like that versus just being like, nope.
Nobody knows. I'm getting out of here as fast as possible. So the benefit of Artea not using the Thunder Stride is he is able to. He does. Well, not exactly. He took one to get his magic back for T-Bird, and he is now plugging through this. And we'll see how he does in this GP, considering he does not have upstab. He also actually dug the item out of P1, which he skipped, because at that point you just needed to figure out where the trophy was, and why dig P1 if you are getting a hint for it.
Yeah, even if I have the items to clear dungeons early, unless like I really want the XP or something, I really don't like to dig dungeons until, especially like, you know, because I knew the east was right there. I really don't like to dig dungeons until I know like what I might potentially need. Right?
Yeah.
Digging items out of dungeons can take forever, and I just absolutely don't want to do it if I don't have to.
Yeah, so I knew he was in P1.
That would have helped. Especially,
yeah, so
especially early on. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so an interesting difference for the two of you, actually, is you were both in P4 at the same time. He got in there before you, I think, and left after you did. I might be wrong. He spent a lot of time in it. He dug the flute out. So you remember that one room that you need either glove or fairy for?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember if he had fairy at that point. He didn't have the gloves, and you decided to go clear that room faster, while he did everything but that room because he didn't want to use his fairy spell. I think kill us at that point, and that's how he ran into the flute, basically.
Yeah, I don't know where the magic containers were, but for most of the early part of the seed, you can only do one cast of fairy per life, and you're gonna be real stingy like that.
Oof, that's game over for Artea and a dot quit. Ouch. Can't blame him for that. We'll see if we can get him in for an interview to probably complain about the seed a bit and such the interview scene. Yeah, GG's to Artea as well. That was not a especially kind seed. It's kind of Artea getting a little turned around and clearing out more palaces. He didn't actually find the Maze Island connector in the west, I don't think either, which didn't help him. He did actually track down the raft in P5 as well. For that purpose.
Yeah, I did end up getting the raft, but I don't think I ever found the other end of it. I'd assume it was like Death Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he eventually found the cave in Maze Island, but from Maze Island, not from the west. So he ended up taking the raft to Death Mountain. The Death Mountain connector was just east of Old Kasuto.
That would have actually been a faster way to get all the way to the east end of the west, because Death Mountain was so close to the start of the east, and you could just go like zip, zip, zip.
Yeah, the two Death Mountain connectors were very, very close. The two connectors in Death Mountain were very close to each other. Yeah. Especially that he played poorly, just some unfortunate luck with how the seed went, and, ridiculous jet!
Yeah, Artea is definitely a tough competitor. He's beaten me in trails and races before, and, there's always a danger when it's someone like that, even going into GP at 45 minutes or whatever, you look at how fast the seed went, and it's like, yeah, I could still lose this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, GG's does not appear as he hasn't said anything in race time about interviewing. I assume he might just not be coming in. Don't entirely fault him for that, considering how this went. Looks like the challenge has been updated in the meantime. You are now up to 3-0 in this group. 3 wins and with 1 race left in this group. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, it's obviously nice not to lose any races. I look forward to dealing with the bracket flags and doing my best to win at least one match in the brackets. But I still got one more race tomorrow, so hopefully win that one and call it a sweep.
Yeah, that would be nice, because at the moment, 3-0 puts you... Well, having 3 wins in groups of 5 doesn't guarantee you to move on, but it does put you in a very good position to at least have a tiebreaker for moving on. And I think actually at this point, since Homer's already got 2 wins and 2 losses, yeah, I think 3-0 almost. I think with 3 wins, you are almost certainly going to move on to groups. Maybe a tiebreaker, but I think you're in a pretty good spot for that.
Well, when the worst case scenario is more Zelda 2 races, I'm not unhappy.
That's a good way of looking at it. Oh, and Artea is joining us. Just didn't respond. Hey, Artea, GG's.
GG's.
GG.
GG, Ellendar. I made peace with my loss when I got bodied to death by Karak the first time.
Oof. That always sucks.
Yeah, the second one was just gravy, just cementing the loss.
Oh yeah, I forgot your, 10-15 minutes in P4 included several deaths and a game over to Karak.
2 game overs to Karak was just like, yeah, that's it. I'm not winning this one. And then just missing the trophy, so I had to go back into caves for it. But at the time I found the item cave, I was just like so low on levels, just life levels in general, that you're gonna get one shot by a giant red floaty eyeball. So didn't want to die for it.
Funny story, Ellendar didn't get that trophy for his trip through either.
I took 3 deaths, gave up.
There you go. All right. So I would like to thank Karak for. That was actually like I don't really have all that much to say about the scene. It was really straightforward, not particularly challenging. Just stupid bad play on my part, and just better play on Ellendar's.
Yeah, you guys are both in P4 at the same time. Ellendar got out of there considerably faster. Probably helped, I think, that Ellendar had the glove at that point, so could go through that one room that's either glove or fairy block more easily than you could, because I assume you didn't want to go through it because you wanted to conserve your magic. So you ended up basically last locationing that route.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then every time I needed to go to Karak, I had to take a death on top of it, which, just compounds the whole wasting 20 minutes and 4 thing.
Yeah.
That's alright. That was almost an entire seed without downstab.
Oh yeah, I don't think you ever got upstab either. GP, at least Ellendar always took an upstab block to get to T-Bird. Or past to Dark. I think that ways, yeah, there's one past T-Bird, I think that gets you to Dark Link.
Oh, if there was an upstab block after T-Bird, I was definitely even more screwed.
Yeah, it was the horizontal, like the room with the row of horizontal blocks above you.
Oh, didn't have jump either. That was I don't remember, item lock of some kind.
Yeah, jump was in Darunia.
All right. Well, that's twice in a row that I've been screwed by that.
Yeah. Just wasn't your seed, unfortunately, I don't think, Artea.
Hey, it happens. Doesn't really matter. I had fun anyway.
And that's what's important, ultimately, is that's why we play video games, to have fun.
Yeah, usually. What one should hope. What else did I don't know, I wasted time digging for the raft too, because I missed that connector cave next to what is it, Rudo? Trophy Town. Yeah, I missed that one, so I didn't see the connector to Maze Island until I got to Maze Island through the raft tile.
Yeah, that cost you a minute or two as well, I think. Not much, but a bit.
Yeah, not that much. I spent a little bit of time diving too, but in 5 I found it before Guma, so it wasn't really the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. Any questions, Ryan?
No, you covered things that I was going to talk about, and that's pretty much it. GG to both of you, and still got some races left, so I'm sure we'll get those restreamed and commentaried if we can, and yeah.
GG's. So Ellendar, you have 1 match left in this group versus Ghost Dunk. You have 2 left, right? Artea versus Night Shifter and Ghost Dunk. Good luck on those matches.
Thank you.
Your group is still very much undecided. There's a lot of matches left in this group. Ellendar at 3 wins so far is in a pretty good position to move on. If you also win your next 2 matches, you will be moving on. Artea, if you go win one and lose the other, then I think you end up in a tiebreaker, and then that gets fun.
That could be fun, actually.
Yeah. So we'll just see how it goes. You did win against Homer, who is the other 2, who is 2-2 right now. So if you go 2-2 as well, you win and the 2 of you end up tied in a two-way tie for second. You take the tie break at least. But yeah, that should be interesting to see how it shakes out. And GG's to both of you. And any last thoughts before I wrap it up?
Well, as always, just want to thank you guys for taking the time to put this together.
So, putting the commands in chat, shoutouts to our 2 runners, Ellendar and Artea, to my co-commentator Mirai, and to our tracker Royale with Cheese for keeping up behind the scenes as always. Thank you also to everyone in chat for watching this race. Let's see, coming up on the ZSR schedule right now over on ZSR2, which we will be reading shortly, we have a Link to the Past Randomizer Cross Keys tournament match, which Swiss round 6 between Walter the 4th versus Fear Agent. Then coming up tonight here on this channel in about 2 hours, we've got another Z2R match, Group A, between Bob the Elder and Dr. J PhD. And then coming up this weekend, we've got a number more things. There's a lot of stuff. We've got basically every tournament we feature has got something going on tomorrow. And Sunday, I'm not going to read the whole thing off because there's quite a lot, but it does look like we have managed to sandwich in Ellendar's final match of groups in on this ridiculous schedule. We've got, coming at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Ellendar vs. Ghost Dunk is currently slated for a race stream on ZSR 4. Probably have another one might have another one Sunday, but that depends on our insane schedule. But that'll be it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's go see how that Cross Keys match is doing.